are listening to LOA Recon with the Good Vibe coach Jeanette Ma, where we dissect the ins and outs and the art and science of conscious creation, all intended to amp up your manifesting game. Let's have some fun together. Welcome and thank you for tuning in for another episode. I also want to thank Matt, who sent me a lovely review the other day. It reads, "I would like to thank you for you. You are simply amazing with all you do and share. I absolutely love your podcasts. Binged them all in about 2 to 3 weeks a couple of months ago and can't wait for whenever new ones are released. Your advice, guidance, tips, dog and cat stories, Clover stories, everything is simply amazing. Thank you again." Thank you, Matt, for such a fabulous review. I really appreciate that. So, this wasn't what I was going to record today, but it seems like a good time to share one of my favorite personal vibration management tricks, which is when I'm not feeling fabulous. So, whether it's because we're looking at reality or we're imagining something off or whatever, when it doesn't feel good, here's a simple LOA savvy response. You can just ask yourself, what would I rather? What would I rather think? What would I rather see? What would I rather experience? What would I rather feel? What would I rather it to be? I think this is a good time for each of us, the conscious creators that we are, to take responsibility for our focus and to get better at what we're willing to pay attention to, knowing the power of our attention. What would be better than this, whatever we're looking at? What's a different way to see it? What good is evolving from this? Where does this want to take me? Or as Abraham students might ask, what has this put in my vortex? That's a delicious thing to contemplate too. For those who aren't familiar with Abraham's vortex, they talk about how whenever we experience contrast, it inspires a new desire, and that desire is held for us in a sort of vibrational escrow that they call our vortex. It's held for us there until we become the vibrational match to it. So it's literally waiting for us to get up to speed with it. I think that's kind of a cool way to think of it sometimes. The reason this is helpful is because when we can use the awareness of whatever particular thought or focus we've got that doesn't feel great, when we can use that as a catalyst to look forward to the good thing it's leading us to, or some positive aspect of the reality that we're experiencing, or anything else that feels better, even if it's on a completely different subject, that's sound vibration management. And that's not to say that there isn't value in being present to the feelings first, right? Because we know not to resist our feelings. We know doing that just digs us in deeper. But once we've felt them fully, once we've been present to those feelings and we've processed them, which we may be called to do more than one time, but when we've honored those feelings, that's our chance to make a new choice. That's our opportunity to direct our attention in a way that serves us and whatever it is we want to create, rather than keep us stuck in a perspective of reality that we don't love. I also like to remind myself, if I ever hear myself thinking someone should do something, that I am the someone. It's not on anyone else, it's on me. No one can change anything in my reality until I change. Until I change my focus, my thoughts, my feelings, because nothing gets fixed while I'm fixated on the problem. So it's for me to lead the way to something better by finding a way to feel better first, here and now, however I can accomplish that. And I can do that because I'm not at the mercy of the reality I'm observing, right? Not us conscious creators, we know better. We're not ones who are going to get stuck in the same old because we weren't willing to change our minds. I'm good at this stuff and so are you. You know how this works and you're not afraid to work it for the benefit of whatever your preferred reality is. There's something that feels better and we can find our way to that in the right timing, in the right way, and it's a personal journey for each of us. And in the meantime, it's worth remembering, you know what, we can't go wrong here. Because even when we are just dwelling on the contrast, you know what? That just gives more strength, more impetus to the desire. And that's helpful. Even if we aren't the ones who end up benefiting from that strength and desire. Say we die with contrast in our heart. Even if that happens, it's still okay. Because the world that the next ones are birthed into, they get the benefit from whatever desires we conjured, even if we didn't allow it in our own lifetime, in our own experience of reality. But we can do that. We're smart like that, and we're getting better at it every day. Because we know how to allow what we want in this go-around. It's a simple matter of entertaining what would I rather, or what would be better than this, and then following whatever inspirations come on the heels of that improved focus. That's all it takes. This isn't our first rodeo, and it's probably not our last one either. You've got this, fellow creator. You were literally made for this. This is what we came here for, to experience contrast and to want something better, and then to let that even better unfold in our reality. And focusing on what we'd rather doesn't mean we're being irresponsible citizens of the world by refusing to address the real problems that matter, which, some of our Muggle friends or families might think. It's okay for them to think whatever they think. We don't have to change their minds. But what it means is we're doing the vibrationally responsible thing of feeling better, because we live in a vibrational world, and that means everything unfolds according to whatever our frequency is. So staying in the frequency of outrage or injustice or sadness or powerlessness or heartbreak, it does not allow what we want to take shape around us. I know this from the times I've done it both ways, standing in the middle of what I didn't want. I've confronted the issue head on with all the effort and energy and action and money and rallying and protesting and spreading the word and raising awareness and enrolling others into the cause that I could muster. And I addressed the identified desire by engaging all the refocusing and appreciating and playing with perspective and giving the benefit of the doubt and seeing what's going right and remembering the big picture perspective, and doing the thought pivoting work of feeling better that I could muster. And the actions that I was inspired to in that vibration were pretty much the same actions I was inspired to with my outrage about the problem vibration. But they led to very different outcomes, very different experiences of reality for me. Same circumstance, same actions pretty much, but different vibrations and different outcomes. My gosh, isn't it amazing how it works? What would I rather? What would feel better? What's another way to think about this? That's all it takes. And it works. Vibration management works. Works way better than taking actions with outrage about the problem in our hearts. And for those times we're taking actions that are fueled by, the lower vibrations of the contrast we're dialed on, that's okay too. No need to judge, because it's all part of the process of growing desire, and that's not wrong. Step one is a legitimate part of the creation process. It's the essential part. It's where it all begins. Nothing happens without it. I'm also a firm believer that we came here for the full range of emotions, not just the pretty end of the vibrational scale. So if you haven't experienced heartbreak, you got ripped off for your go-round of being human. Doesn't it feel better already to remember that? It does to me. But if it doesn't to you, find what does feel better and go there. And rinse and repeat. Do that again and again. And then honor whatever inspired actions come to you. It's a routine you can rely on to take you to good places. And I know you know it. You've done it many times. I'm preaching to the choir here. All right. I hope you got some manifesting inspiration from this short episode today. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.